And welcome, everybody, to Lan Arcanym, the City of Magic. We are playing everybody's favorite game, D&D SVU, the Lawful and Orderly show on the RPG Academy's Twitch channel. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2. It's going to be a hootenarny, a hootenninny even. And I have a lot of exciting players to introduce and a lot of exciting things to reveal, clues, and so forth. But before we get into that, there's one thing we start every single episode with, and yet it seems like a shock every single time as I... oh, there it is.
What could it be?
Welcome to Lan Arcanym, the City of Magic. Built around the Everspire, the city shimmers with arcane energy. But that kind of power brings trouble. Trouble that sometimes seems to spawn from thin air. And no one knows trouble better than the Lan Arcanym High Guard. LAHG is comprised of several divisions, but of particular interest is the Special Visions Unit. The SVU deals with the strangest and most convoluted cases in Lan Arcanym. This is one such case.
Bum-da-bum.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Nope. We definitely can't use those either. Nope. We're gonna cut that out. That's everyone who just heard that, please unhear it for legal reasons.
Yes. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, yes, welcome to the show. I am Scott, and I'll be the DM for the evening, not playing my usual character. She's sitting out. And with me, of course, is Andrew, that one GM, who's waving and saying hello, and he'll be playing Mikhail Pavloviskevich. Indeed. And Mikhail, I have a question for you about Mikhail, Andrew. And the question is, recently in the City Stories episodes, for those who have not watched them, the City Stories episode 2, I believe, Everyone is Mikhail. Mikhail experienced some extremely bizarre instances in his life. He was on leave, trying to track down a mystery of why he seems to have an identical stone copy of himself that the office dug up in season 1. And when investigating something, he had some sort of a mental health breakdown. And so, if you could enlighten both me and the viewers as to what Mikhail thought about that experience and what he's taken away from it.
So so Mikhail had some sort of mental episode. He is fairly convinced, however, that it's tied more to magic than it is to mental health. It's not. He's in his mind, he is considering it a psychic attack of some sort. Now, whether it's a latent psychic thing, like inlaid into his mind somehow, whether it was connected to the statue, whether it was connected to the person that was chasing him, but he's not sure of any of that. But he's coding it as a psychic attack. So actually, it is in the notebook. He has marked it down as an attack for whenever he tracks down whoever's done this to him. That is going on their list of charges. Psychic assault.
All right, psychic assault. Assault and mental battery. All right.
Assault and flattery.
And below our Andrew, that one GM, is Marty. Say hello, everybody, Marty.
Hi, everybody.
Marty will be playing Aaron Tweet Twilson this evening, the regular human extraordinaire.
Feels good to be back.
Yes, so Aaron was out this last episode on a separate case, and it made the paper. And I'd like you to tell everybody what that case was and why it made the paper.
Sure. He's trying not to make a big deal about it. But during the time when the High Guard was in flux and moving back into the new space, he sort of got tangled up in an underground fight booking ring. As folks may remember, at the end of season 1, Aaron's now back in the good graces of the show promoters in town, and he was accidentally booked to open for an illegal fighting ring. So he did some song and dance, but then coordinated with Vice to get all the names and faces that he could from the ring, and several folks ended up arrested. It ended up being kind of a big bust.
Very exciting. So it was a pretty big bust. But did he make the paper for the bust or for his reviews of his opening act?
Sadly, it was for the bust. He wishes that someone from the paper's arts and entertainment review had been there for the opening act, but no one who writes for the local papers was there to review it. So, although several bystanders said it was amazing, and then the excitement of the raid sweeping in to arrest everyone. Unfortunately, there's no published record of how that went. So,
all right.
Sometimes the show just it's ephemeral, and that's okay.
All right. And then to Aaron's right, or to Marty's right, we have Clara. Say hello to everybody, Clara.
Hello.
Clara is playing Aloe Seda, the newest addition to the Force, just added this season, and also a fairly newcomer to the town. So, Clara, could you tell me a little bit about how Aloe Seda is settling into, how she found an apartment and how she's settling in? Does she live alone? Does she have roommates? Does she live in an inn or like in a squat or a hideout? Or kind of describe that.
Yeah, she's used to living in a squat, but this time she decided to, start new, and she got a roommate off of Craigslist. And the roommate's like a little bit more talkative than she would like, but she lets Aloe, she gives Aloe her space, and she's getting to know her neighbors of all types.
And is there a particular neighbor, or does this roommate have a name and a notable description?
Yeah, there's Rick. Rick lives like 2 doors down from her. He saw her when she was bringing her stuff upstairs, and maybe they might. She's actually very suspicious of him. Yeah, she thinks she recognizes him from Matt Bat, but that's some investigating that she'll do later on.
From what? I'm sorry, Matt Bat.
From Matt Bat. That's the town where she used to live. Yeah, so she was disgraced and she had to leave, and she thinks that Rick might have something to do with it.
Of course. Excellent. So, with that, we will go right ahead and jump into this evening's mystery. A rather uneventful shift has broken through the night, and you guys are kind of pulling into the break of dawn. You've been on for 6 hours or so. It's not much has happened. There's been some stretching. There's been some cajoling. The new office has proven slightly less sturdy than people thought. Some gentle breeze kicked up in the middle of the evening and nearly blew it over. However, with the break of dawn comes everybody's favorite news crier, who has an announcement and which echoes throughout Highguard halls.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5, and here's your morning news. The shadow market stands empty this morning after another week of conflict rages in the upper levels of the Everspire. Sources in the mayor's office say not to worry, citizens, as confident in the magistrate, may they be praised, remains total, and the city looks forward to a swift and decisive end of hostilities. Speaking of hostilities, the Undercity Lan Arcanym basketball quarter semifinals continued over the weekend, with hometown favorite Jay Broadbone pitching the final touchdown of the no-hitter match. And now to the weather. The Nowsayer team predicts an orange air quality day with a moderate chance of debris and scattered draconic fire throughout the day. Expect a warm light breeze coming up from Sidetown in the early afternoon with storm clouds on the horizon. I'm Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5, and that's the morning news.
So with that news, you guys are left kind of to yourselves in the break room, having a little conversation over some coffee.
I enjoy playing Basketball, but just watching the games, I do not understand. I would much rather go see a play or.
Totally agree, Mikhail. Like, you just really need to see the last few minutes. You know, it's all about like what is the score so far? How many points have they done? And are they going to do more? Hey, did you catch any of the wizard battles over the weekend? Pretty good lights out.
No, I don't actually support combat entertainment per se. I see more than enough.
Too violent for you?
Well, it's just I feel like it promotes violence unnecessarily, and I don't think that there's like a correlation necessarily. But You know,
The
I
best
get enough
kind
of
of
that in my
violence.
real life.
Yeah, it's the best kind of violence. The unnecessary kind.
Yeah, I gotta say, Aloe, like I don't know what's going on up there. Hopefully people are okay. Everybody's pretty overpowered. I just think the lights are kind of cool. Like I wish we had some of that pyrotechnics in my show when we're on the road. We have all these like real crappy illusionists. You just meet whoever's in the town that has the skill, and they don't know how to do it right. So it's good. It's a good time, Mikhail. I think you should take a look.
Yeah, perhaps to observe and appreciate the technical quality. Maybe I will go with you sometime.
Yeah, it'll be a nice work outing.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yes, we should all go. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the middle of your guys' basketball orb scheduling, or pyrotechnic shows, wizard fighting. Yes, wizard fighting scheduling. That's delightful. There is suddenly a cry, a very mild cry for help coming from below. It sounds like the front door of the keep. Oh, help!
Should
What is that?
And anyone?
I'll go. So you guys don't worry.
Well, no, it sounds like okay.
Yeah,
Well,
be careful.
Aaron gets up to go open the door, and he's actually holding his coffee in one hand, like.
And you open the door to reveal Archibald, the tall, rather frail-looking seer who you guys are accustomed to.
Jeez, Archie. Oh,
please don't call me that.
Oh, come on in, Archie. How are you? You
He
look
stumbles in,
awful.
and he has a large swelling bruise on his cheek and like a scratch above his eye. There's a little bit of dried blood. He says, "Oh yes, I've been a bit. I'm afraid I'm a bit worse for wear.
Ooh, Shiner, you're really getting into it out there, huh?
Yeah, yes. No, I'm afraid I got into a fight with gravity this time.
Oh, hey, you know what? If you're protecting somebody, you go ahead and tell us, okay?
Yeah, if you don't feel safe at home, Archie, you can live here.
Oh no, please. I live alone. I'm very safe. I could just into this chair. Oh no.
Okay, there
no.
you go.
No,
What happened?
There was some debris, some unexpected scattered debris from the kerfuffles way up high, and I jumped out of the way of it, and I fell into the gutter, I'm afraid.
well, it's a shame you didn't get hit by the debris, because if you'd been hit by the debris, then you could say that you'd lost the fight with a dragon. Because technically, if debris is created by the dragon and then it hits you, then you could make the claim that you lost the fight with the dragon.
If
Yeah,
But since you fell over and hit yourself.
Street cred, Archie. You got to think about the street cred.
Well, the streets got plenty of credit on me, unfortunately. However, my stumble was not the worst of my worries. You see, I was out today to deliver unto you a vision of a murder, and But my crystal orb, it fell out of my hands when I fell, and it rolled into the sewer grate.
Oh, Archie, no.
Yes.
That was your favorite orb, or at least it's the only one I knew that you had.
Yes, as far as you know, I only have one. You guys never ask me about my personal life. This is the first time
Hey,
you ever...
We asked
We
you
don't
about
know
your
where
black
you
eye.
get it, Archie. Yeah, we don't know where you get those orbs. I already feel uncomfortable about touching it.
You know, my father made collectible orbs.
Actually, now is not the time for this, Archibald. It sounds like maybe there's something very important going on, and that I would love to hear this story, perhaps another time.
Oh, well, stay a while
Archie,
and listen.
let's just put a pin in orbs and dad talk. It's gonna be. I really want to hear it, but I feel like if there's a murder, we should probably go find the orb, right? Do you remember which sewer grate it rolled into?
Oh yes, it was just a couple of streets down by the ham hock vendor. I'm afraid. Just yeah.
Oh, right outside of Stephen Hawkins. I know the grate you're talking about.
Yeah, Stephen Hawkins Ham Hocks. It's a very catchy name.
Not a great food though, I gotta say.
No, Ilan and Bark really get into it. I really enjoy it, but I don't see the appeal.
So you have no time for my backstory, but you're perfectly content to discuss that of one of your companions?
I'm sorry, Archibald, it's relevant to where we're going. It's part of the setting.
But I'll tell you what,
at least you Archibald,
why don't Archibald, why don't we all get together, you and me and Aaron and Aloe and Shannon and Ilan and Bark. Well, I don't think we've ever all been together in the same room at the same time. We should get together sometime, all of us, and talk to each other all at the same time.
That is possible. I do love high tea. If you would take high tea, that would be lovely.
Could we have maybe let's have some tea and watch the wizard battles later?
Yes.
I find that a little bit beneath me, but all right. Yes, that would be capital. But in a moment, I need to rest just a little while.
Oh, of
yeah.
course.
Well, we have an investigation to begin. So actually, it's gonna have to wait till high tea time anyway. It's like 6 a.m.
Oh yes. Dawn is approaching. Well, yes. Well, good luck.
No, sure.
Thanks.
Good luck to Chief. You know what? She'll figure it out.
The vision was dark, so I assume you have a bit of time. If I recall.
Okay.
It's funny how these things escape you in your old age.
Aaron's gonna run and knock on the Chief's door right quick.
What?
Hey, Chief. Archibald just rolled in with a vision, but he says he
to the sewer.
Well, now he rolled his vision orb into a sewer grate. So yeah, he there's some falling debris. It's you know how it is. Archibald's not the quickest on his feet.
Budget cuts. I got scheduling. I don't have time for this, Twilson.
Just want to let you know. Yeah, we're gonna go find the orb and figure out the case and all that.
All right. Well, good luck.
Great. Thanks, Chief.
Turns out. Be sure Mikhail writes your reports.
Okay, all right. I was just checking to see if it's an official case if we were off the clock, but all right, the official got it. Good. All right, well, let's go to the sewers. Let's have a little field trip to the sewers.
Off to Stephen Hawkins.
All right, so...
Stepping off to Stephen Hawkins Hemhawks.
That's fantastic. Why don't
let's do that.
You do that. You guys proceed. You step
Let's
off
roll
to
on
Stephen
over
Hawkins.
there. Yeah.
And Stephen Hawkins, it's a bit early. The ham hock vendor, Stephen himself, of course, has yet to actually open. You can see him kind of in his shop tidying up the hocks, picking them off the floor from, there is some collateral debris that seems to have fallen, and so it broke a window. And so he's kind of scraping the glass off and putting them back on the shelf.
Putting those day-old hawks up.
Yep. And you guys see a sort of largish sewer grate near where this happened. You might presume that that's it. You don't know.
I think I am going to presume that this is the very sewer grate through which Archibald dropped the orb. But
well, Mikhail, you've been on the force the longest.
Well, yeah, and because I've been on the force the longest, I found that it's best to have it's very hard to say this word. Evidence that backs up the other evidence that you have. So I'm just going to take a step here to Mr. Hawking, Stefan. Hello.
Yes. Hello. I'm afraid we won't open in a moment. And he kind of tucks the ham hock cover.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No. We don't want any of that.
No, we are here on official business, Stefan.
Are you some sort of officials?
Yes, some sort of officials.
We're Lan Arcanym High Guard. We're just down the street here, actually.
Of course. Yes. Oh, yes. I've many fine High Guardsmen visit. I give a civil servant discount. You should come in.
Oh, that's okay.
Great breakfast talk.
Maybe perhaps later. But for the meantime, did you see a very tall, very thin, very bald, very pale individual walk by your shop a few minutes ago, perhaps when the debris fell and stumble?
The debris fell. Yeah, I do remember that. There was just a couple of people in the street who were caught off guard. Luckily, no one was injured. Of course, my window here is blown out. I don't know who's going to pay for that. Better not be me.
I hope you're insured.
No, my tax coppers go into the same coffers as everybody else's. It should be the city.
Well, then that is definitely a claim that you could fill out. I believe I have a copy of the paperwork. Yes, this is, I think, the copy. Will you fill that out in triplicate and mail a copy in, hand deliver a copy, and bury a copy 6 feet beneath your property.
Puts it down. Well, anyway, what's this about?
Oh, we had the friend walk by who was carrying something of value, an orb, and he stumbled and dropped it, and we were just trying to confirm that this sewer grate right here outside your shop is the one near which he stumbled and through which his orb fell.
Yeah, well, that's the one where that tall bald dude fell over. Yeah.
All right, That is excellent.
I didn't catch his name though.
It's not a big deal.
Is he a Should I be concerned? I mean, I'll report this guy next time I see him.
No, he's a fine, upstanding individual.
He's a great guy, and we're just concerned he lost equipment that has been useful in many law enforcement cases. And
property of the Lan Arcanym police department.
Yeah, I believe it is property of Hannah Highgard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Didn't he say his dad gave that to him?
Well,
wow, they really give Sears a fun deal.
We kind of commandeered it, right?
Yeah, while it is in use for an investigation, it is technically property of the Lan Arcanym Highgard.
Well, as interesting as the minutia of bureaucratic
Oh, sure, yeah. If you could just show us,
it is very interesting.
Which way down into the sewer?
I don't take the great way. We've got a basement out back. If it's like an old storm cellar. I only store hawks I don't plan to sell down there. That's definitely what I use it for.
Don't worry, we don't plan to buy any of them. So let's go through there. How about that?
All right.
Well, thank you very kindly, Mr. Hawking.
Have a good morning. Tell your friends.
I
Tell them
certainly
what?
will. What? Veiled hawks on sale.
He doesn't answer. He's still kind of puzzling over the paperwork.
Yep. All right. So yeah, we'll let's go sewer bound.
All right. So you guys pry open sort of this back door, a little bit disused, but not locked. Amazingly, you get downstairs, and the smell of ham hock is strong. But sure enough, toward the back of this basement, you guys find a little access to the sewers. And the sewers are about half height. You kind of have to hunch down to peer in. But you can definitely see where the grate has passed through, and then there's a flow of we'll say water. It's rather rapid, and it seems to be spreading, going downhill, sloping probably toward the docks inside town.
Well, this is definitely the sewer.
It smells great down here.
It smells like a sewer grate down here. That's for sure. So
Aloe, did you do a lot of crawling around in sewers when you were working the force at MatBat? I feel like we do. Okay, so this isn't unusual because I did not think there would be this much sewer crawling when I signed up. I got to tell you.
Actually,
It's really not that
MatBat
much
is
crawling for
mostly
me.
sewers. It's mostly sewers. But let's see if we can find that orb.
Yeah. Aaron is. Let's see. What's our lineup? I think Mikhail's in front because he's the.
Yeah, because I can walk.
He's got the freedom of mobility. I'm going to. Aaron's going to cast light to light up, with Mikhail's permission, his replacement Billy Club, the sad Billy Club.
I have a hand axe. The replacement Billy Club.
Oh,
broke.
excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So yeah,
I think it splintered in the last adventure. So yeah, I've got a hand axe.
So now you have a hand axe, torch, light, flashlight.
Oh, that's very bright, but that's actually very effective. All right, this way.
All right.
Don't dawdle back there.
No, okay, yeah, making my way. Oh God, wax my head.
So with the help of light, you can definitely make a check with advantage. But I'm going to need a check. They're the kind of the sewers. There's some branches. There's some looking. You're trying not to stumble over it as you randomly walk through these pipes and trying to guess which way it may have gone.
Wow. What I would like to do, I think, I don't know why I'm talking in character. What I would like to do, I think, is an investigation check. I want to find the exact sewer grate that it fell through from beneath. Mm-hmm. And then kind of look around for where it might have hit, and then follow the water source from there and see if we can find any kind of like chips of crystal or maybe see a light refracting through the water.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you an investigation check. Go.
All right, perfect. That's not super great. Okay, 13 total.
13 total. That is a success. You guys stumble downhill for a ways, and it takes some time. It eats up some of your shoes. Really, you kind of miss the smell of ham hock at this point, but you do come out into sort of a slightly wider chamber, where you're pretty sure that there's a little sort of a smallish divot that you've been following, about yay big, yay wide, and the chamber opens up, and it looks like you're about the second story of kind of a largish clearing, 20 feet high, about 40 feet wide, 60 feet deep or so. And it looks like this channel just goes right down into kind of a smallish central pool with some sort of rickety-looking railings made of variously decayed wood around. and you hear some sort of chittering sounds around you. A little hard to identify.
Well, whatever. Did you hear that again? I'm definitely hearing that. There it is again, like someone going fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. That's it's kind of rodent-like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, at any rate, the orb, if it came down this way, definitely fell into this 60-foot deep pit. So I think we're gonna have to find a way to
20 foot deep, but there's a pond down there. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can probably get down to the surface, but there's some stagnant water.
That is disgusting.
Yeah,
Can we tell how deep the stagnant water is?
that's pretty opaque. It's hard to
Okay.
tell, especially from you guys are like a story up from it. You're looking down over a grade.
Is there walkable water, or is there walkable, like, is there dry land down there? Is it all water? Is there like a ledge?
Yeah, there's gratings and there's ledges and there's accoutrements and surfaces. They're not super reliable. Some of them, the ones that are stone are covered in moss. The ones that are wood are a little bit decayed. So it's not a trivial challenge to get down there. You could either take your sweet time, or you could try and go for a skill check and run the risk of ending up in the drink.
Yeah, Aaron, this looks a lot like some of the worse rigging that Aaron has been on the road, because once again, if you never know what the crew is going to be like, what they've got to build with. So he's worked on some really rickety stuff for shows. So this doesn't look like a problem. So Aaron is going to acrobatics his way down there and just kind of hop and flip and hand over hand his way down to get as close as he can to the water.
Let's see some dice.
Let's see. That's a 13 plus 4 is 17.
That's definitely a success. You do, in fact, hand over hand and toss, and you do a bit of pole vault in the middle at some point. Somehow, you
completely unnecessary.
Yeah. And then, like some pummel horse, right? You do the whole acrobatic routine. You land with a little flourish, and accompanied with the is now a light.
A skitter, a pitter patter of
They're impressed.
Hey, not the smallest audience I've worked for.
tiny applause.
Definitely worked for smaller audiences.
And through the gloom, you can make out a vague, sort of a half-height, like shadowed, heavily cloaked figure with you can just see some like extremely thin, bony fingers with claws on them coming out of either end of a very dark robe, and the robe's heavy set, so you can't really see a face.
Aaron, do you see anything through the gloom down there?
Yeah, hang on. Hello, sir. Lan Arcanym Highguard.
It's ma'am.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Hello. My name is Officer Twilson with the Lan Arcanym Highguard, and we're here looking for some evidence in a case. Have you seen a seeing orb down here?
Yes, and from beyond her robes, she pulls out an extremely sparkling, magically fully clean seeing orb. You're referring to this.
I probably, that looks familiar to me.
Did you find it, Aaron? Is that what's down there sparkling?
That looks like the thing. There's a very helpful lady here who
Great
found
job.
It's quite a find, this bauble. Down here, there are rarely such treasures.
Oh,
We
sure.
tell her there's a reward. Tell her there's a reward.
Absolutely, and there is a
lie to her.
reward
Tell her there's a
for
Yeah, but
reward.
there's no reward. Yeah.
there's for any citizen that recovers evidence in an active case, just like that one, which this is. It's technically property of the city, in the custody of the Lan Arcanym Highguard. Well, as soon as I take custody of it,
But
you understand.
but you just said that there was no reward. Your friends on the catwalk.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. I did not say that.
Yes. So
They're far away. They can't see what's happening, so they would have no idea whether there's a reward or not. Right, guys? You have no idea.
I can't hear you, Aaron.
Did you lie
I don't
to
have
her?
any idea what's going on down there.
Okay, did you lie, Twee? Did you lie?
No, we're all good. She knows there's a reward.
Okay.
She knows there's no reward.
so.
I'm just not going to bother rolling persuasion because
She has no response. She will continue to press her 6 digits into themselves.
absolutely. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't get your name. I'm Aaron.
I'm Fanghorn, people call me.
Fanghorn, that is a super cool name.
She has no response to this.
Does she have a cool name, Aaron?
She has. That's a weirdly specific question, Mikhail. Are you sure you can't hear what's going on?
I've asked it 4 times. I didn't know if you could hear me.
All right, well, I can see this conversation is sort of petering on, but
Hey, tell you what. Why don't you come up to the surface with us? We'll get you a nice breakfast and get the vision out of that orb. That's what we really care about. It's only police evidence, and until the police have the evidence that's stored inside its little crystal brain there.
Did you tell her there's no breakfast?
Tell her to give her ham hocks.
it was a very interesting vision contained in the seeing orb.
Oh, you've seen it. Cool.
Yes. Dark. Stormy.
I've heard it was dark. Yes.
Yes. Such a great fall.
Oh,
Shame.
a fall. Interesting.
Yes.
You know what? I find it's really not as satisfying to have seen something on your own and try to describe it to other people. Have you ever gotten that experience after a show where you've gone with your friends and you've seen it, and that's all, and you all want to talk about it, and then you're trying to talk to your friend that hasn't seen the show yet, and you're just, it's not the same, for either of you. So tell you what, let's all go up to the surface. We'll go over to the station and we'll all just have a look-see at that vision together. And I just can't wait to feel what you're feeling right now. That feeling of dark and a fall, you said? Amazing.
I'll let you see the vision, but I want to keep the bauble here.
Okay. Well, I'm not closing the conversation about getting this back to its previous owner, but I will go ahead and check out the vision. Guys, I'm going to check out a vision. I'm going to the void space.
I think he's going to have the vision without us.
Yeah.
Well, you could come down here if you want. It's pretty gross if you fall, though.
I'm good up here.
Yeah.
All right. She proffers the vision in her 3 long claws. As her sleeve sort of pulls back, as she reveals her hand to you, you see an extremely skinny, sort of yellowed skin. Looks almost like the flesh of a giant rat. As you touch the orb, it's like a touch different than what you're accustomed to, because you're accustomed to being introduced to a vision by the seer who's seen it, right? Or there was that one time where you guys read about it in the paper, and that was cool too. But
that was cool too.
Yeah. So instead, you're transported to a view, but everything's weirdly distorted and shrunken down. It looks like it's a lot like when you do a show and then you see a show, right? And then you're trying to explain it to someone else. But rather instead, it's like when someone is reliving your memories, but then filtering through their preconceptions and misconceptions and their understanding of the world, right? And through that filter, it's like there are concepts that maybe the seer had as really simple, obvious concepts, but the viewer, the person, the seer whose mind the vision is being replayed.
It's like a show being badly remade by a director who didn't understand the original material.
Exactly.
So I'm watching a reboot of this vision.
Yes, you're watching Turkish Star Wars.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. So there's some the scene opens and you're in a sewer. And in the sewer, there are 2 figures. One short and extremely vicious looking, with horns and massive eyebrows, in a costume. There's knives everywhere on this costume. And opposite this figure is an extremely tall figure of pale, almost white porcelain skin, with a dark robe. It doesn't look quite like an identifiable dark robe that you've seen. And they're standing in a sewer, but there's a massive sewer grate at one side, and there's a lot of wind and water coming through that grate. And there's a conversation. The vision takes from the perspective of the shorter figure of these 2. And unfortunately, whenever that figure opens their mouth, you can't quite hear what they say, but you can only hear the responses of the pale, taller figure who's being spoken to. And so there's kind of a muffled then the figure says, "No," British accent. No, this is the only way, I'm afraid. And yes, I do need your help. Well, of course, you see, they've besieged us here in the untranslatable concept. Yes, but it's the only way to save the group. I'm afraid we have to cast the spell. You're the perfect conduit, don't you see? Well, many lives will be lost, but more will be saved. Come quickly to the altar, and there's kind of a circle, and it's glowing. You can't make out any arcane runes or any symbols really anywhere. There's no really written words. You see something that looks like it could have been bookshelves if viewed from someone who'd never seen a bookshelf before, right, and didn't know what it was for. It's like a bunch of rectangles on a box, right, some stacked boxes. And then somebody goes over to something that looks kind of like a dinner table, or maybe an altar, or maybe a desk, something between those three. And near this glowing surface, but just then there's an enormous crack, and the large sewer grate that was against one wall that was letting in light and rain seems to explode outward, and now rain and water is just pouring into this sewer space, right? And the porcelain figure turns and looks and says, "Oh no, come quickly!" And you hear a and then from the camera's perspective of the eye view of the shorter figure, these two small gloved hands come up and push the porcelain figure off the now open hole, and you hear a long scream of a fall that is, it takes so long it couldn't possibly have been in a sewer, right? That you guys don't know of any sewers that would have had like a Wilhelm scream. Wilhelm. A Wilhelm scream that lasts quite this long, before the vision then fades and you're brought back into reality.
That was really long. Did you learn anything interesting, Aaron?
Well, Mikhail, remember that time that I tried to explain a show that you haven't seen?
It kind of came off as a fuzzy concept, like there were things I just didn't understand, and I had to replace them with vague concepts that I did.
Well, you're not going to like this.
Oh, boy.
And I say, Fanghorn.
Yes.
This was just as interesting as you said.
Yes. Such a long fall.
I would like to share this with my friends, if I may. I know that you don't get shiny baubles like this down here often.
No.
But perhaps I could convince you to part with it for a few gold.
Oh, shiny baubles are one thing, but useful baubles are another. I can store my own visions in this. Keep them for later.
Oh, are you a seer, Fanghorn? Do you get visions?
I have since some years after I moved down into these sewers.
Oh,
something about the gases or the ambient magical energies, or maybe it's all those ham hocks I've been eating, but whatever it is.
It gets into anything. Tell you what, I'm going to give you my card. We're just like upstairs and then 2 blocks over. And if you get any visions that you think would be useful to law enforcement, or even not, we'd love to see you there.
Yes, I would love. Well, I don't know if I would love to be seen there, but this intrigues me. It's nice to have someone listen.
Absolutely. Sometimes what we all need is an audience.
So, Alo, he was telling me about this play, and it was kind of like if you imagine the Star Battle series of plays, kind of like that, but as though someone had rebooted them who had never seen them before. It's kind of hard to explain. I think maybe this is making it worse for you actually than it was for me.
Okay, so
I think I get what he was saying now.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of like okay. So they wanted to keep the copyright, so they just made another film.
It kind
they
of
didn't
like
really
that.
care about. Okay, I
think yes, I like hired a weird director and set of actors and like a stage designer. It was a mess apparently. I still have not seen it.
Okay. All right, I think I got it.
At that time, Aaron comes kind of like hupping back up, yelling over his shoulder back to Fanghorn, like, "Yeah, no, you should see it sometime. It was really bad." Like,
Aaron, I'm not sure why you recommend this to everyone. It seems like a very poor piece of media.
It's Mikhail. It's all about shared experiences, and whether those are bad experiences or good experiences, it brings us all together.
That is a fair point.
Anyway, it looks like...
Oh, you do not smell good.
Wait, did you not get the orb?
Oh, no, she definitely has the orb. She's a... Oh,
there are those F's again.
Okay.
She, either that's her. Fanghorn, lovely lady, by the way, kind of bony fingers, a little bit rodent-like, and I mean that in the best possible way. If she can't hear us from up here, she probably has ears that can, so... let's just head on out. I think I've got all the info that we need right now, and we can continue this conversation, above ground. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Seems I can't. Having not seen the vision, I have no reason to.
Very adamant about
object.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Also, it smells really poorly down here. I would love to get out.
All right. So you guys twist and turn and wind your way back up to the ham-hock-laden surface.
Oh, I was wrong. This is worse. Oh God.
Yeah.
These hammocks are terrible.
As soon as we break the door, I'm like, holy shit, crazy rat lady took the thing. I was not gonna fight for it, okay? I don't know what she would have done to me. I'm just a bard, you guys. So if we want to come down later, I know exactly where the Seer's Orb is. Archibald can do his own thing and get it back. So
you guys should have sent me down there.
It's technically city property. I think it's our responsibility to receive it. But it still contains a vision.
She might work for the city. I don't know. I haven't met everyone who works.
You could have used deadly force, Aaron.
You could have asked her if she worked for the city.
No, wait. Deadly force.
Deadly force.
Wait, did you say deadly force?
Deadly force.
Okay. Officer Stata, I she's pretty nice. Like I think we'll see that orb again. Just not today. And I think that's okay. Let me tell you what I saw in the vision. And like he does his best to like overly dramatically explain what he saw. I kind of feel like, well, I don't know. What do you think, GM? Would Aaron understand that the vision was distorted because? I mean, I guess we'll just lead off. Everyone can take their own conclusions.
It felt fundamentally different than the usual vision, right? It really is like watching a very non-Hollywood movie, right? You can tell that like just production values and cultural norms are fundamentally different, right?
Right.
And so something is off. And yeah, I think you can piece together what and why and how anyway.
Okay. Well, in that case, it sounds like there's about to be some murder going on somewhere in the Everspire, and it's got something to do with this wizard battle. I think they wanted to sacrifice somebody in order to make a powerful spell happen. And if I'm understanding the vision right, spell guy gets pushed out of the window, and I don't know how high up that person is physically or within the magistration, but I guess we should go check this out.
So are we to believe that Archibald had the vision and then Fanghorn viewed it, and in so viewing like modified it through her perspective, that things have changed? The perception of the vision has changed because she first viewed it and she is herself a seer?
So apparently the time cop equivalent rules in this specific episode, which we may retcon later, are that when you're viewing a vision through an orb, there's one person who replays it through their mind fully, and then everyone else just gets like a stream copy, right? Like everyone experiences their experience of the vision.
So there's a host and a data and like a file
and a bunch of clients.
So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the file and the point of contact is the orb, but the host is the seer.
So somebody wrote this Microsoft Word computer on a PC, and then somebody else is opening it on a Mac, right, with an old version of Word, and so like you get kind of most of it, but like chunks are weird and different and missing.
Oh, okay. So it's like formatted wrong. Okay. Okay. So what was the production value, you would say, of the vision?
I would
That,
say there's a lot of heart, but not a lot of quality.
Okay.
One of the kind of things that it's not going to win an award, but it might be like a cult classic,
It's a cult classic
in 10 or
okay.
15 years.
Yeah. You know what?
All
I
right.
think it gets better with the more retellings. So let's just tell all of our friends. But first, maybe
About
this
this
hasn't
vision?
happened yet. Let's go see if we can save one of the magistrate. That's gonna look good for the High Guard, right?
You're so focused.
He's a worker machine. Like, they take a
Look,
couple of weeks off, and suddenly
Teacher
everybody's
pet.
working real hard.
Sorry,
around
guys.
you.
It's just you get your name in the paper for a big bust, and
I know. Now
yeah,
he's
fame-
doing hot stuff.
fame calls. That could be all three of us. You know, be
Getting
pretty
a
nice.
little bit of a large cranium.
Fantastic. So, yeah, you guys can certainly transition off to the Everspire if you would like. Sounds like that's what we're doing.
All right.
I think that
Do we
makes
ever
sense.
start?
I would say, Mikhail, do you think we should check in
Actually-
with the chief, or should we just...
I'm gonna just swing by I think we'll go and swing by the station, but I'm just gonna grab like a cloak with like a long hood, just for like comfort purposes, and also because I may have had some strained interactions at the Everspire a few weeks ago.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was.
Mikhail, what were you doing at the Everspire, man?
Yeah, it was a trip. I haven't quite sussed it out, but there was a psychic assailant or assailants of some kind, and it's a long story. It was it's surprisingly entertaining looking back on it, though. You should really, I'll sit down and tell it to you sometime.
Excellent. I mean, I could read the file. I know you've wrote it all down.
No,
but
it's
you know
much
what? You're
better.
right.
It's much
Yeah.
better to like
I'll hear you tell it. It'll be
experience
great.
it. Yes. But I'm going to go to the cloak. So Mikhail steps in and runs his locker and grabs like a really a long, shadowy hood to put on.
If we follow Mikhail doing that, then you see Aaron like putting his hand on Archibald's shoulder and like kind of shaking his head.
Stay a while
And-
and listen.
And he's like, "Hey, good bad news, my dude. We found your orb, and we know exactly where it's
I'm
at.
so relieved. That's great news.
And what do
that's
you
been my
know
orb
about?"
Yeah, Aaron let some old rat lady keep it.
What?
I would have just snatched it from her, Archibald. I
What?
wouldn't have let her keep it, but
Yeah, what do you
don't
know
do
about
anything by the book.
what do you know about rat lady seers that live in the sewers around here?
Oh well, I've heard some stories of a seer was an arch wizard by the name of Fanghorn who retreated from society after I guess a great spell working done wrong. I guess it left her horribly disfigured. I think she was working on teleportation.
Yikes.
Very distant teleportation circles, but I'm afraid that the cleanliness of her laboratory was never well understood, and I think
That sounds like pretty bad juju. Well,
she was teleported with a rat, and I'm afraid that the
right.
results were not quite so great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I've got more good news and bad news then. The good news is, or maybe it's the bad news. It's not. It's more than a story. And the very good news is, Archibald, you get to go meet her if you want to get your orb back. Anyway, we've got a case. We'll see you later, bud.
Wait!
Pat.
What? And meanwhile, Mikhail is picking up his orb. I mean his cloak, and he goes, but you got your cloak. You're all
Sure.
good. And you go to hang up your old officer's cap, or I guess you don't wear a cap.
I have a trench coat I have to take off, though.
Yeah. So on your way back from the locker room, you pass the hat rack, which is currently that spare statue that they found of you.
Yes.
And you notice that the pile of hats are on the ground and the statue's missing.
Oh, jank.
Excuse me. I know you're just work the desk here. I know you're doing paperwork right now. And did
Yeah,
you see what
work
happened
my
to this
cart.
statue?
What do you want?
What? There was a very handsome statue right here.
Yeah, the one that reminded me of you and my broken heart.
Yes. Do I know you?
You don't even remember me, do you?
No. Should I?
We changed an office. My heart is broken.
I'm very sorry to hear that. So you do recognize the statue then?
Yes. It pangs me every time I pass it by. No, it wasn't here on my morning rounds. I did see a couple of cloaked figures headed out the front door with something wrapped up about that size. It looked like they were straining under the weight.
But you didn't think to tell anyone this.
They were Black Inquisition. You don't tell that to anyone about anybody that involves the Black Inquisition.
It was the Black Inquisition.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's fair, actually. I understand then why you... In fact, you really shouldn't have told me. You're probably in danger just by virtue of even telling me that.
Well, what can I say? You make my heart go pitter-patter, and I lose myself to you every time. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I have to deliver the mail.
Oh, the mail. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye. So, the statue of me, guys, is gone. So we just keep an eye out for that. If you see me, only more grim and like stonier faced and not breathing.
Oh, the hat rack.
Well, now, yes, it was being used inappropriately as a place to store hats temporarily, but it is technically a statue of me, and I think also a soul jar. So, it's kind of like a low position, a poor use. But yes, the hat rack.
Cool. Well,
so just keep your eyes open. Probably something terrible is happening, but whatever. One thing at a time. It's been 3 weeks dealing with this.
Yeah, let's. Hey, maybe whoever took it is tied up in all this somehow. We can.
That was
hope.
The Black Inquisition, I think, that took it. So I really hope that they're not tied up in it too much. I hope they just
have even said
looking
that?
for a black. Yeah, I just had the thing happen with the lady, the Cheryl, and I realize now as I'm saying it that I probably shouldn't have told you that it was the Black Inquisition, but too late for that now.
Yeah, Aloe, I don't know if you had the Black Inquisition back in Matbat, but they are pretty serious business here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never heard of them. They sound deadly. Good branding, but yeah.
Yeah, think of them like if the High Guard didn't care about justice and just disappeared people whenever. Actually, you might get along really well with them.
Okay.
Like surprisingly well.
Huh. Anyway, I guess we should go on check out the Everspire, huh?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So our valiant heroes are going to troop off to the Everspire to check it out. But first, we're going to have our halfway through episode break.
Woohoo!
This break is like all of our breaks here in Lawful and Orderly is sponsored. So we have a sponsorship message.
Yes, indeed. Shall I read that?
Yeah, sure. If you would like, I would sure appreciate it.
Calamity got you down. Is the news leaving you blue? Have the nightly displays of deadly energies beyond your reckoning put you a bit out of sorts? There's never been a better time for distraction. The Lan Arcanym Distraction Mongers Guild reminds you to shop the city's many fine licensed distraction mongers for all your derailment needs. Remember, distractions get you through the day.
Boom! As a large explosion racks the center of the office due to some debris that crawls down and interrupts the advertising monger.
Oh, womp womp.
If that was a distraction, that was you got my purchase. Well done, I must say. Absolutely perfectly timed.
All right, so
folks,
unfortunately,
they can only do that at once.
Yeah. It's really too bad.
One-time performance.
Mm-hmm. Folks, we're in our halfway through break. Any questions, comments, concerns, and complaints? Please put them in the chat. Well, except for complaints, please address those to Michael at the
RPGacademy.com.
Please do.
I'm going to grab some more water. So if there are questions for Aaron, keep them to yourself.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, there's been some discussion, but no questions in the chat. So, now there's a question asking what Shannon is up to. I wish I knew. Scott, can we engage in baseless speculation?
That's a fine question. Yes. I assume delivering the mail, right? Wait, was it
Shannon?
Cheryl?
Shannon. A half unicorn.
Shannon,
not Cheryl.
Cheryl, not Cheryl. Shannon. Pardon me. Not Cheryl Jum. ridiculous show. So no, Shannon. Yes, that's a good question. She's taking an extended leave from the force, and apparently she didn't tell anybody where she was going. She might, since she was unexcommunicated from her church, maybe she's getting back in touch with her holy side.
Did she receive any kind of bonus compensation for the new spiffy uniforms? Ooh. Possibly that she's out, maybe spending those big.
She may be getting dollars. Residuals, especially since they're the only surviving uniforms, and they.
Yeah, everybody we've had to order backups for. I mean, everybody has to have at least 2 outfits.
Yeah, multiple copies. It's a serious thing.
Okay. And what kind of shifts do the High Guard pull? Day shifts, night shifts? I mean, we're a 24-hour service, is my understanding.
I think the High Guard work, they work in 8-hour shifts and also 12-hour shifts. But pretty much I think it boils down to like the Axe Cop mantra of they're on the always shift. Their shift is always. So much like the bridge crew of the Starship Enterprise, regardless of who happens to be on actual bridge duty, when real bad stuff happens, it tends, 1, to happen around the primary characters, and 2, to happen when they're on duty, right? So,
I mean, we are the star officers. We're the ones they trot out for of the High Guard, right? No, of the Special Vision Unit.
You guys haven't seen Lawful and Orderly Night Watch. Where the Night Ridge crew, the cases they get, way more intense. Just gotta say.
Was Steamy by any chance, or just like cooler,
The Steamy is after hours of the RPG Academy. That's a paid subscription.
Okay,
that's not on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
So Night Watch are just cooler cases. I did hear that there was a brand new, super cool division of the High Guard that investigates the criminal use of sorcery.
Yes. The sorcery.
They're very flashy.
The Criminal Sorcery Investigations Unit. Yes, CSI. They're extremely flashy. In fact, they've been hiring former and current adventurers, high-level adventurers, who do things like level up and get magical equipment and fight horrible monsters from the beyond.
And also,
don't do any of those things.
The Jump Street division. Did you forget about that one?
Yes. Oh yeah, the High Guard Jump Street. They are just like, aren't they? Don't they have a unit in preschool now? Like they just keep going.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame actually that they have to have officers that young. It's sad.
Well, that look that young, They pull it off.
I mean,
but the crimes going on.
It's polymorph, right?
Oh yeah. They shrink, reduce.
Yep. Yeah, they've got their bag of spells to make themselves look like children, and then investigate.
Yeah,
but it is a shame that they've resorted to investigating, preschool crimes, stolen candies, and shoves in the night.
You hate to see it when the crime syndicates get them that young, and I mean, those preschoolers pull off some really scary stuff.
Yeah,
it's an epidemic in Matbat. It's an epidemic.
Oh,
this sounds like this place you're from sounds terrible.
I based it off of Baltimore. No, I'm just kidding.
And
fantastic.
Send complaints to Michael at therpgacademy.com.
That's right. All right, so we
do have one more question.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did Aloe want to be when she grew up?
Good question.
WWE wrestler. Or Matbat. She wanted to be a wrestler.
Nice.
World Wizardry Entertainment Wrestling, huh?
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
Oh man,
yeah.
Mikhail, he just doesn't buy into the wrestling or the magical combat.
Yeah, he's very you seem like non-violent protester.
Well, I wouldn't say non-violent. Discrete applications of non-lethal violence.
Purely practical.
Okay.
Violence.
Yeah. Thumb screws.
Small scale, like body horror,
laceration. Yeah,
I feel like I missed so much, but
no,
regardless, moving along. All right, we are back with the second half of season 2, episode 2, portion 2, Lawful and Orderly, the D&D SVU show starring all of us. Welcome back, everybody. To recap our show thus far. The members of the High Guard, who have bravely stood watch all night to lack of events, were suddenly besieged by an elderly injured man who had been accosted by some rubble and had lost his vision of a heinous murder. Our crack officers snapped to it and searched the sewer and gutter where he fell for his vision orb. Running across one decrepit crone named Fanghorn, who lived in the sewers and claimed to be a seer herself. She allowed Aaron Tweet Twilson to observe this vision, but only in a sort of a focused and difficult to understand way, such that many of the details were lost or meaningless. Then she managed to talk Aaron into letting her keep the orb with the original vision and remain in the sewers, where she could probably move around to who knows where at this point. Much to the heartbreak of Archibald the Wizard, who may or may not own the orb. You'll have to hear Season 1 for that long-standing debate about who owns the orbs and when and why. In the meantime, the officers, believing that the vision had to do with the Everspire, and perhaps the murder of some sort of magistrate, they wanted to head to the Everspire. But on their way, they stopped by the office because Mikhail wanted a cloak for no particular reason, perhaps relating to his awkward encounters with the folks at the Everspire during the City Stories episode 2. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's a great time. And when he went to the good old-fashioned hat rack in the office, he noticed that the hat rack, also the statue of himself, had been snuck out of the office, had been stolen by 2 agents of the Blackguard in the early morning. So, we're going to catch up with our officers as they hurry toward the Everspire, wondering what exactly happened to the statue version of Mikhail, and who in the Everspire may or may not be possibly being murdered at some point.
And officers, on your way by, I see you going there. Hi, sorry, skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5, here with a midday update. The magistratum, may they be praised, continues its valued and valiant defense of the city against the assault on the Everspire. Several of the city's seers have reported visions of an enormous golden dragon penetrating the hallowed walls of the Everspire and rampaging high within. The Now Sayer team received a statement from Roth Badman of the Black Inquisition, who cautioned, "You can't believe everything you see in a vision. It's fake news. Our hearts go out to the brave bureaucrats of the magistratum. May they be praised." Meanwhile, magical eddies circulating out from the ongoing conflict have had some hilarious results. Reports from the city's guild and trade district say that it is raining flumps. The streets are deluged with over 2 feet of flumpfall so far today. Traffic is jammed leading out of the market street as the Bureau of Weights and Measures works to assemble makeshift plows. Davina Porkchopsky of the Meatpackers Guild cautions city residents not to consume the flumps as they have not been packed by certified meatpackers, and if they turn out to be temporary manifestations, may lead to sudden bouts of intense hunger. Storm clouds are coming in from the east, so you can expect more traditional rain this evening. This has been Skip Skyseeker, Now Sayer 5, with your midday news update. Have a good one, officers.
Oh, yes, you too. It's the voice. It's, it's he's so charming. It's outrageous. Also, I did not know you could eat flumps. It's very difficult. Flumps. I know you could eat those things.
Oh, I never touched this stuff. It's like,
it's
like hawks.
Oh, yeah, I see flump, ham hock. I can see the similarities between those 2 things that we're talking about. Oh, look, the Everspire is right ahead.
Yeah, he told me. Take you to the Everspire, right? All right.
Thank you for stopping and let us listening to that entire report. That's very kind of you to stop your...
I've been a skipster for a long time.
Oh, it's always great to meet a fellow skipster.
Yeah. Gotta love that skip. Oh, the Now Sayer. What? So much. Have you guys heard Now Sayer 3? Nothing like the skip.
I mean, the heart it's there, but just it's the natural talent that's lacking. Not with skip though.
All right, so usual thing, paperwork. You pay me later. That's how this works.
I'm fairly certain. I never. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, good luck at the Everspire. Survive those storms.
Yeah. Well, if we let us know if you try any flumps.
Yeah, horrible things. Traffic's all comes up. All right. See you later.
It's all flumped up. I'm just gonna put on my hood and Aaron. Oh no, hello. Why don't you take the lead on this? It's a good experience for you, and I'm just gonna hang in the back and let you take the lead here.
Okay. So we're going to go down to the Everspire.
Yes,
right
yep.
here.
You guys are pulled out out front.
Here we are.
The Everspire, the center of town, the tower with no top floor that recedes infinitely above you, and the city, where the magistrate and the magistratum live, bears before you. Its deep, endlessly long shadow cast across the city as though it were a sundial.
We probably don't want to stand out here too long. The lights are pretty, but you never know when a chunk of desk or a wall is going to come down.
Okay.
Should we?
Yeah,
head
definitely. Let's run inside quickly. Post haste.
Okay.
All right. You guys enter sort of the lobby. It is not a welcoming place. It is, in fact, designed quite intentionally to be unwelcoming to both guests and those who bother to work here, because as the lowest level of the Everspire, this is the least attractive place to work. It's staffed by members of the Blackguard and a couple of extremely low-level magistrates, kind of bustling here and there. There's a frantic look and tone about them, as though they were hustling to work as quickly as possible. And there's also a sort of a heaping barricade being formed up to one side of the Everspire. Blackguards at the gate to the Everspire's outer perimeter stop you and say, "What ho? What? There's no one allowed in at the Everspire currently. What business?
We are on official high guard business. We are officers of the Lan Arcanym police department.
Ah, yes. I didn't see those high guard badges. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Are you on the list or not so much? I mean, that's.
Oh, we don't have to be on the list. We have some questions here. Aaron, can you help me out? I think I'm failing here.
No. You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
You're
doing good. Normally we do have to be on the list, but we're here on official business investigating a murder, real or potential, based on a vision. We saw what we can best suss out was a magistrate of some kind being pushed out of a window, probably as a thwarted attempt at your defensive action here. So
that's ridiculous. No magistrate would ever be pushed out of a. First of all, the Everspire doesn't have windows. Secondly, no one could be pushed out of them due to magical warding. They're push-outable. Anti-push... Pro-push-outable? Is it? No, man. Anti-push... And they're
anti-defenestrative.
Yeah. Are you some sort of wizard? Hey. Looks so familiar.
Yeah, I've got one of those faces. Trust me.
he does. You know what? You'll see that face all over the place where you least expect it.
A surprising number of times.
Anyway, yeah. Not on the list, huh? All right. Well,
is there some sort of schedule of spells, or does everyone just cast spells whenever they want to? Do you know if there's any spells planned for this evening?
Of course, there's a schedule of spells. What do you think this is? The Maga Casual Institute? It's the Magistratum. We're the central bureaucracy for all magic in this magical city. If there's one thing we love, it's schedules, right? Dude, it's my turn to be the casual one. Sorry. Schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that often you see two-headed guards.
Hey,
It's good that you got work here. Very good. Good for you.
half-ettins are members of this city too. I might not technically be allowed to work in the Everspire, but this is as close as any two-headed being, Etten or otherwise, has ever gotten. Yeah, that's right. It's great. Kind of puffs up with pride. So anyway, you were explaining to me why I should let you in.
Yeah. So we were just asking some questions. Can you tell me if there's any spells that are concerning to people?
Are you some sort of spell expert?
No. I dabble though. Do you know if there's any spells that are taking place that involve sacrifice?
We wouldn't know about that.
I hate to be so blunt, but Aaron, back me up here.
I mean, I think she's got an excellent point. If you guys, do you have access to the spell schedule? Do you guys have that down here?
No, not out at the gate. That would be ridiculous. That's
okay.
That's Udo and Otto. They're the ones with the spell schedules.
Well, look, guys, I know you're super busy here fending off whatever this attack is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a dragon. Those are the rumors. I don't know. It's none of my business. But we are here to stop a murder, or if a murder has already occurred, to solve it. And we've got a strong piece of evidence that says someone in the Everspire is going to try to do a spell, and well, it's not going to work out for them, and they're going to get pushed out of a hole blown in the side of the building. No, don't tell me that there haven't been holes blown out of the side of the Everspire. We've seen the debris down here.
All right, says the this side head. Yeah, we've seen debris too. Quiet, man. That's not the party line. No, come on. There's a lot of debris. It's got a point. I mean, if someone's gonna die, and if somebody finds out we didn't stop it, yeah. All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Ooh, all right. Persuasion is my favorite. 17 plus 5, 22.
Yes. Yep. They say. Yep. All right. So we'll go right ahead. And tell you what. When you get to Udo and Otto, tell them Vin sent you, and he'll help you out.
Vin, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Vin and Vin say in stereo.
All right. So let's head in. Aloe, you did great. Let's keep this train rolling.
Okay.
So you guys head into the tower. There's more of a bustle of activity, and there are two tiny dwarves who are behind a massive sort of a desk. It's like raised as a dais, and there's a huge slanted shelf on it, like an architect's desk, right? And there's an enormous book about 6 feet by 7 feet on it, and the front of the desk says "Master of Scheduling." And these two dwarves are team effort turning pages, and looking over it with a rather large, finely ground spyglass to read things. Then, they're trading off. One will be looking through it to see the next entry, and the other will be calling out orders in some sort of cryptic, shorthand that you guys don't quite understand. And then they'll trade off when they need to read the second page.
Okay.
All right, Officer Seda. I think these are the guys that we need to talk to if we're going to find out what and when this spell is.
Okay.
Tell them Vin sent us.
Uno and Otto, right?
They look down at you through little half spectacles.
Okay. We are officers of the magistrate. We're doing a magistrate inspection today. And Vin
Aaron puts his high guard badge away.
And Vin has told us that we need to take a look at the spell schedule to perform our inspection.
But we were not informed of any sort of inspection.
Yeah. We didn't know there was going to be an inspection today.
It wasn't on the schedule. Why? They turn back a couple of pages and start checking. Why would there be an inspection?
If you're informed of the inspection, we can't see how you're truly doing business. So hand over that book, you two.
Why didn't you schedule the surprise inspection on the surprise inspection sheet? We have a whole different sheet for surprises, for surprise schedules.
They both look somewhat shocked and a bit panicked. Clara, go ahead and make a deception check for me. Roll a d20 and add your plus bonus to deception from your character sheet in the skills area.
Okay. Hold on, wait. Sorry. 2d20. Okay, so I got 21 plus...
Wait. D20 probably... It can only usually have a result from 1 to 20.
No, look,
Are you sure about that?
I think she's got
it. Traditionally.
Oh, okay. I ran a 2d20. I'm sorry.
Yeah. One is usually sufficient.
Okay. So that's an 8 plus my deception is... Sorry, I'm looking for it on my sheet.
It's in the skill block next to your stats, and they're all in alphabetical order. Deception's under D.
Plus 6. So I got,
Whoa!
What is that? 14.
14. All right. Yes, 14 is a success.
Oh,
You guys are on the success boat today. They look at each other and they hump and they rump. They say, well, yes, all right. Well, coming up here, go ahead and inspect it. And they give you a hand up and they say, I'm sure they'll find everything is completely in order. Yes, in fine-toothed order. In magistrate fine order.
Aaron is going to make sure that Mikhail is front and center to look at this thing. If there's anyone that's a filing expert among us who can decipher their strange system, it's going to be Mikhail.
Excellent. All right, so Mikhail, I'm going to need you to pick a check to make while you're trying to decipher this system and look through them. And go ahead and, if you want to make it with your cowl down, I will give you disadvantage. If you make it with your cowl up, I will give you advantage because you're using good light, but there's going to be some maybe interactions with people recognizing you.
I'm gonna make it with. I'm gonna lift the cowl. I'm gonna pull the cowl back and to get that good light. And
right.
this is an archaic organizational system.
Mm-hmm.
That's one Mikhail is familiar with through his study of history. Mikhail knows a lot about history. It's astounding.
Perfect.
He views all of reality through the lens of history. 23.
Jeez.
Yes.
Oh, yes, they outdated, but still actually a fine system. For the kind of organization you're doing here, this is actually very good.
And all right, so first the result. You learn without a doubt that something has been in fact added very recently to the schedule, and it's set for this evening, and it's been called an emergency arcane summoning. And it's signed by somebody you know and do not love, Deputy Magistrate E.G. Stonesniffer. It's described as an emergency summoning happening outside of E.G. Stonesniffer's office, and using some of the oldest magics. It's described, and it's going to lead to a decisive victory against the invaders. It is described in this ledger using this shorthand.
Yes, it says Deputy Stonesniffer, the guy from the court.
And in the section that generally talks about like vengeance or spell costs, right? Like the list 1,000 gold pieces or 2 pounds of guano or something. It lists 1,000 and then has a symbol you're not familiar with. It looks like a vase.
What is this? This is not a symbol I'm familiar with. Could you this little vase, this little
Is this a joke?
What is?
This is a joke, right? I mean,
aha!
I mean, they teach us this on day one. It's No.
I mean him, right? You recognize him, right?
No. Yeah. What are you doing? Wait.
They just brought you in here an hour ago.
Well, yes. And so I've circled back around.
They turn a couple more pages. They find on the schedule. See here, in the morning, right? 8:06 a.m.
Right.
They brought this guy in here. We inspected him. We sent him upstairs.
Yeah, you've been approved. Wait a minute.
Oh, well, perfect. Then I'm just gonna go ahead.
Where's your approval stamp?
My approval stamp.
Yeah, we left
Don't
it on
you
your
remember?
Forehead. It was we stamped you property of.
Right. You did put it.
Magistrate.
You put it on my forehead, but it's you use the water soluble.
I told you we got to use the indelible ink. Look, fine.
It's inconvenient for me, but I understand.
You know what? We're behind on the schedule for reading the schedule. I'm just going to give you the stamp.
We are so behind on the schedule for reading the schedule. They stamped you as property of.
This is great. I'm so glad. So yeah, if you'll just help me out here with this symbol, I'll go ahead and go back upstairs and I'll take these two other folks with me. They're part of the whole.
There's no time for that. That's the symbol for souls. Now get upstairs.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Come on, you two. Come back up with me where you belong.
Let's take him up there.
All right. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead. We're
up
very
here.
behind. E.G. Stonesniffer's office. That's where it's filed. Go on.
Yep.
Great.
Yes. That's definitely where we're going.
Thanks, fellas.
All right.
All hail the magistrate.
Yes. Magistrate most tall. So you guys go ahead and you find some sort of like a magical lift, right? There's a whole bank of these, and
Better than the stairs.
Lan Arcanym doesn't necessarily have a lot of teleportation technology locally, but they do have extremely fast lifts, and so that's basically all the route that the ground floor is. It's just a bunch of elevators and some bureaucratic office filing, right? Big ones for freight and little ones for executives. And there's kind of a maze, but there's Udo is yelling at you like, no, elevator 6J, you want up to Stone Sniffer's office.
Right,
Come on, what
of course,
are you new?
yeah, nope, we got it.
And
Thank
so you
you
guys step past 6 row, which is not 6J, right? And then go to 6J, and you get in, and there's a cryptic bank of buttons, but there's another.
No, it is this one.
Inquisitor.
This is the one with the. No, I know which floor Stone Sniffer is on. I've been here before.
Oh, really?
Oh yes.
Maybe you'd like to tell your friends why.
No, do
you
I
know what?
know
If
you?
he hits the button and Aaron is just kind of like,
Accept. Just accept.
Boop.
All right, so there's a heavy whoosh feeling as you guys get much heavier in your boots, and it takes a surprising little while. Your ears pop a couple of times, and then suddenly you're launched into the air for a brief moment. You stop about part way and load on a couple of low level acolytes, like one of them.
I get a lot of time.
Seems to. Are you? Go ahead and make a.
I stand very still. As soon as the doors open, I just stand very still.
You recognize one as Middle Tim.
oh, the Tims.
Oh, Middle Tim. Nope. Okay.
Make some sort of check to not be stealth. I believe would be not be noticed by Middle Tim.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. There's no no disguise.
There is a
so
roll
it's
for
gonna be
this.
stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not great. It's 4.
All right.
It's total of 4. I just stand very still.
Some point, Middle Tim looks up at the better Tim next to him. He's like, psst, psst, psst. What? I'm right here. No, there's this guy over here. I remember him. No, this guy. He's not whispering at all. He's like, this guy. I remember this guy. He ran into the summoning school and was weird, and he had a knife, and
Aaron is giving these guys the eye and giving Mikhail the eye.
No, he was here.
So Aaron wants to make eye contact with Mikhail. Mikhail, what are you giving me here? Is this panic? Do you need help?
I'm giving you the Mikhail is giving you the it's one eye is giving you the oh my god, and the other eye is giving you the don't tell them anything, make them turn around, and I'll bonk them on the head.
That's some complicated.
It's not effective. I don't think Aaron's getting anything out of it other than Mikhail's eyes are just vibrating wildly.
It's a stare. Hey, guys. Yeah, you're a friend of any friend of a friend is a friend of mine. How you doing?
You're a friend of who? Who are?
Oh, I couldn't help but over here, you're a friend of our friend here. Awesome. You guys excited about this summoning? Wow, big stuff coming up, huh? Boy, you don't have soul magic very often.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to participate. Shut up, Tim. You know the list of loud people. I'm sorry. They left me out.
Middle Tim, that is just completely out of. That is unfair. It is the structure that is designed to keep people back when they should be moving upwards and moving forwards, and it is this very structure in which you are participating that is holding you back. Middleton, here's my advice to you, Middleton. Look, are you looking mean? Look at me. My advice to you: get in there, get it done anyway. The rules exist for a reason, but if the rules are unjust, actually, you should still probably follow the rules.
Well,
what? Just
maybe
forget
if I
what I
had a
said.
knife like you,
Maybe get the new job.
Do you still have those? I could. Dude, what are you doing? Don't ask. Do you even know this? This is weird. What are you doing, Tim? No, it's fine. He's Do you have a knife?
I do. Would you like a knife? Because that's like a weird request.
It's a good idea. I mean, it worked for you. You got so much attention.
Well, it's confidence, Tim. What it is, it's not the knife.
Yeah.
The knife is a tool to grab attention. But what it was is confidence. Tim, if you
the elevator
exude confidence,
stops at what is apparently Tim and his friend's floor, and his friend's like leading him off. Like, come on, dude, let's go. He's like, no, this guy's gonna give me a knife. He says,
you know what, Tim?
Loudly out to the kind of overheard by the crowd of people out on whatever floor this is, doing whatever
and
they're doing.
with that, Aaron lifts his cloak, draws his little short dagger, says, Tim, today's your day, my man. And like as the doors close, he tosses it to Tim.
And the elevator continues on.
What have we done?
So it's a long story. I was kind of here in the middle of the night. I found that there was like a summoning ritual happening. I sort of interrupted. I think I tilted the scale of power in like the social dynamics. Anyway, then I went upstairs again. It's kind of a blur. It's part of this psychic attack. And I saw E.G. Stone Sniffer, the deputy magistrate, and I believe he killed me. I was sort of having an out of body experience, but it was more of an out of one body into another body experience. It's very
you know what?
complicated.
I feel like I should just read it myself. It's really weird hearing somebody tell it. It doesn't translate.
And I didn't even sound like myself to myself. Everything was just a little bit off. It was a good me. It felt like a good me, but just a little bit off.
So the elevator doors open, and apparently you guys have risen to the point of combat, because now with the motion of the elevator stopped, you can hear you assume that the Everspire doesn't usually like bounce or twitch, but an occasional like rumble, and then a rumble, and then like a distant cry of dragon fire or something. You get the distinct sense that there's some business going on pretty close by for you guys. But you step out into a foyer and you hear some actually more proximate commotion just around the corner toward E.G. Stone Sniffer's office. Some sort of human commotion.
This is great. Let's go find out. In fact, Aaron, Aloe, why don't you guys take the lead here again? I'm just gonna hang back. I'm gonna take a back seat and take a supervisory role.
Which office is it, Mikhail? We don't know
this
the way.
This one right around the corner. There's 2 doors and then another door and then back to the 4th door. 3rd on your right, 4th overall.
All right.
Okay.
So Aaron's gonna look at Aloe and be like, "Let's do this," and take off running.
Okay.
All right. So you guys zig and you zag and you end up in front of this. It's really a wing. E.G. Stone Sniffer, as a deputy magistrate, has several offices with kind of a nice set of double crystalline doors that lead into them. And against those doors are piled a great pile of ramshackle desks and filing cabinets and sort of arms and armor. Basically everything heavy, probably from this floor and maybe a couple up or down. Maybe like a couch has been tilted on its side and jammed up against the door. It's pretty well fortified, and there are a couple of sort of Black Inquisition members with little red sashes that you don't seem to immediately recognize, who are jimmying sort of another thing onto the pile.
So the pile's on our side of the door.
Correct, keeping it closed. Yes.
Okay.
This is why you lift with your back. I'm telling you, no, wait. That would explain all the back injuries. Lift with your knees. Never lift with your back.
There's magical healing, man. We've got insurance.
Yeah, but there's like a copay, and I've got my... Anyway, it's a mess. Well, whatever. I guess lift with whatever.
You're not on the HOA plan? Or come on, man.
No, it was one of those where I have like... well, anyway, it was complicated. I just picked them from alphabetical order, man.
Hello, Inquisition fellows.
Inquisitors, obviously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm Bert, and this is Manuel.
Please call me Ernie.
Hi.
Ernie.
And these guys don't seem that scary or anything like that. It's a big deal.
I've never seen these guys before. I mean, I wouldn't presume to know everybody in the Inquisition, but anyway, hello, sirs. We are members of the Lan Arcanym High Guard, and we're here to prevent and/or investigate a murder.
6 seconds for you, 8 for you. Is how long it would take me to drain you of all of your blood. 6 for the little guy, 8 for the big lady.
So you're not really the people person of the two of you, huh?
Well, to be fair, I'm not really the talker either. I mean, Ernie's very clear. He really enunciates. I'm I kind of mumble over my fumble with my words. You see, he's a good one with words.
Yes.
Bert, I don't take too kindly to being told how long it would take to drain my blood from my body.
No, I'm Ernie. He's Bert.
Ernie.
Well,
gotta get that.
Okay, well, you two Muppets, we have questions for you.
I mean, we'll answer questions, but I mean, we got to keep piling stuff up against this door. So you might have to talk while we work.
What's on the other side of that door?
What are you guys piling up against there?
That no good, E.G. Stone Sniffer traitor is on the other side.
Yeah, that guy. I
never
liked him anyway.
Oh, we're actually looking for him in regards to this murder.
Yeah, he's got himself...
he might be in some big trouble.
Yeah, he is. He's got himself locked up and holed in there, and somebody lost the keys.
Yeah, wait a minute. Now wait, Bert, we've just spent 45 minutes piling stuff up on this side. Did you just say he locked himself in there? Because if he locked himself in there, why are we piling crap up on this side of the door?
Oh, come on. No. You remember.
No, I don't remember. You said we need to pile stuff up. I thought he was trying to get out, but you said he just locked himself in.
No, okay. So Steven, the head of the Red Inquisition, told me that we needed to kill this guy, right? But
makes sense.
He's like locked in there, right?
Hi, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Point of order.
Yes, 6
quickly.
seconds. What can I do for you?
You said Red Inquisition. Is that right?
Yeah. You like the sashes?
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Aaron pulls Aloe aside, and it's like, these guys don't work for the city. They don't belong here. I think we're standing behind enemy lines right now.
I'm not really familiar with the bureaucratic structure.
Sure, just go ahead and trust me on that then.
Do they realize we can hear them?
No, but it doesn't matter. Let's just pile more stuff up on this thing.
No, stop piling stuff up. I think we need to take stuff down. You just said he was locked in.
So we lost the keys. I mean, okay, I lost the keys. All right?
Yes, thank you for owning that. Fine. Now you feel better?
No.
There's no blame.
Oh, okay.
But you own that mistake. You can learn from that mistake.
Right.
Let that mistake guide you.
All right. Next time I'm using the outdoor hole toilets. I won't have the key on my belt mistied. Fine.
Right.
Fine.
Are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just wondering, there's not another way into Stone Sniffer's office, is there?
Oh no, we got it pretty well barricaded up here. We're gonna starve him out. I think that's the slowest way to die.
Starve.
And he's in there alone again? Just for clarification?
Well, yeah,
Probably.
I mean, it's kind of that crystalline lens windows around the office. You can kind of peer in. It looks like he's got some sort of little guy in there with him. I don't know. Couple, actually.
You just said they were...
Would he look anything like this? And Aaron suddenly jumps out of the way where Mikhail has been hiding behind him.
Shit! You have another one of those little guys. Should we think about 6 seconds for that little guy?
More like 3.
Yeah. All right. So
Turn him upside down, it all pours out.
All right, so GM Marty has a question.
Yeah.
Y'all are playing these guys pretty tough, but how tough are these guys? Like, do we read these guys as actually pretty tough?
Bernie will kill you.
That's a fine question. I will let you make a roll against your highest attack bonus on a d20 to kind of suss out how you feel this person would be as a combatant.
Oh, that's interesting. So then I would take with my rapier, whatever that attack is.
Like gauge them on their melee ability. Kind of use yours to suss out theirs.
let's see. Maybe Clara, maybe Aloe would like to make that roll, since I assume you're better at attacking than a bard.
Yes. One moment.
They're just standing there looking at us. I don't really understand.
Yeah, so you want to help me with this bench, or?
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Your attack bonus, Clara, with your rapier is +5.
5. Yep.
Criminy.
So I got 5 plus 5, so I got 10, right?
Right. I'm gonna chalk that up as a failure on the scales of justice, and I'm gonna say that you definitely right. So the way we handle failure in the universe of Lan Arcanym is that not getting the information or the clue can sometimes completely ruin the adventure, like now. So what happens is you get the clue, but now you have to come up with either an interesting backstory as to why you would know this even though you didn't know it, or somehow lose or cost yourself something in this process, here in the moment, like expose yourself or embarrass yourself or something like that. So the information is that, yes, these guys are non-trivially better combatants than you. They're probably not joking about how quickly they could let your blood out. They may be exaggerating, but
maybe.
Yeah, but they're bruisers. They belong in these upper levels of the Everspire, whereas you do not. And so, Clara, what interesting detail from your past can you use to describe why you knew that, or how can you lose or
embarrass
cost
yourself.
yourselves or the group something, or Mikhail, whoever, to pay for that?
So I have to explain how I know that these guys are like hard hitters.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I would say, well, even though I'm not familiar with the Black Inquisition, back in Matbat, they have Bert and Ernie have, I can tell by their...
Please, Ernie and Bert.
Ernie and Bert.
I thought it was Bert first.
No.
Ernie and Bert. Okay, I can tell from their clothing that it's stitched in a certain way, and that type of stitching is only made for people that are it's made for fighting.
Like it keeps all your joints really, really loose, even though they're in heavy black cloaks. They have full range of motion in their arms and legs for murdering people, like choking you out with their toes if they need to, because they have like toe indents in their socks or something.
Yeah, and their hands are just like made for murder. I can just tell that. They have murderous hands.
So they have one guy's missing 2 pinkies, but he's got a tattoo MURDER. That
yeah, just like yeah.
Ernie has a tattoo that just says street.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, you get the impression that they're fierce contenders. Yeah, so I mean, we can technically the rules didn't require us to kill those little guys in there. There was nothing in there about that. We just got to kill that stone stiffer guy. So we're gonna pile stuff up, and as long as you guys don't stop us, then what do you think, Bert?
Wait,
Ernie,
Ernie,
what do you think,
are you talking to yourself?
What do you think,
Yeah.
Ernie?
I think
Ernie Merciless. Emmanuel
I-
Mercilisto.
Manuel Ernesto Merciliso.
Okay.
Please,
I
if you're gonna use my full name, use my full name.
I'm gonna pull Aaron aside, and I'm gonna say, hey, we can't let them, we can't let them kill this guy,
Yeah. No, that would be pretty bad.
So maybe we could convince them to not do their job. Maybe we convince them to go straight. Right?
Okay.
Turn them on our side.
So, figure out what side they're on and what the
meantime,
deal of that side is.
You guys can hear rain starting to pitter-patter against the outside of the Everspire. Rain that's vaguely reminiscent, Aaron, to you in the vision of the fact that of the water that was coming into that sewer grate before the sewer grate exploded out.
Oh, crap. Okay, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Mikhail, do you have anything that won't get us killed?
It's possible. It is possible that I don't, but I do have an idea.
Okay.
All right. So, Yes, hello. So you saw that there were a lot of little gentlemen that resembled me in there, right?
Yeah. Bunch of them.
Okay,
Well, I
and
mean,
you
two.
would like
Two's a bunch.
some.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not, but that's all right. And
Sorry.
you would like this
Already went to
deputy
get that
magistrate.
badge. Yeah.
And you would like the deputy magistrate to come out through the doors, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, that'd be great to.
So you
kill
can
him.
stab,
Yeah.
right? Perfect, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
what if
we'd
you
be glad to help with that.
Yeah. What if you put me? What if I stand right in front of the crystal doors, and you knock on the door and then run around the corner, and he will think I am another member of his party and open the door to come out and get me.
Yeah,
Makes
we're high
perfect
guard.
sense.
I mean, we work for him like super a lot. Like he's our bosses. Aaron trails off.
You know, that might be better than starving him out. At least it'd be faster. And if all else
think
fails, we can just keep up with that plan.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, we could kill you and pile you up against the door as more weight.
That's using your noggin.
It's kind of like it's kind of a win-win for us, really.
Oh, that's using it. All right.
I don't know. Sounds like a lot of work, all that killing. But here,
It's
let's
really not.
let's try
Easier
this.
than breathing.
Why don't you? Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's try it our way.
All right. So a little bit of heave-hoeing. You guys managed to kind of scrumple out sort of a hole, really, because there's a little bit of brief banter between Bert and Ernie, and they furthermore discover that the doors are hinged in, not out. So there's a moment of realization that that Bert's plan was not exactly the most genius way of murdering someone, but and Bert back here should not be making the plans from now on. But yeah, so you guys carve out a little hole. You remove like a filing cabinet that was put in laterally, and it's big enough for Mikhail to move in and kind of clunk on the crystal as the rest of you hide behind some things waiting. So after a little bit of knocking, a figure does sort of tentatively approach, and you see just a moment's recognition, and then a robed figure comes up and shuffles in and makes some noises, although you can tell that the crystal glass is mostly soundproof. You just kind of hear some mumbled talking. But then a magical ward is removed, and a door is opened, and a hand is offered to you to pull you the rest of the way through.
Sure. Mikhail reaches out to take it, and he grabs Aaron's hand as he goes through.
Wait. Were there other people within view?
You said we carved out a tiny little hole, right? So I assume that Aaron and Alla were standing just off to the side.
All right. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me, Aaron and Alla.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. I rolled good. But I have nothing on stealth except dex, wait, so then do I add my dex?
Yep.
Okay, so that's +2. So I rolled a 19 total.
19 will definitely do it.
Okay. Is it a D20 or a D8 that you?
D20 plus your
okay.
stealth bonus, Clara, which is a 4.
4. So I have 9, so plus 4 is 13.
That's 2 successes. All right, you guys have been succeeding the crap.
stealthy.
All right, so yeah, he pulls you through, and then much as the bean can full of snakes or sort of the money pinata, you guys just kind of pile through all at once. And he says, "What?" But quickly, reflexively closes and latches the door before the two members of the Red Inquisition manage to make it back with their murderous rage. You can see Bert and Ernie's making scowly faces at you as E.G. Stone Sniffer looks down. What's brought you here? Tell me.
Magistrate Stone Sniffer, we got a vision that you were going to be killed doing this exact summoning, whatever you're doing. One of the soul jars is going to push you out of the window when something breaks it.
What is that is very concerning.
Yeah, look, we're really low-level folks. We would not work our way all the way up here to tell you some BS. This is a really scary place.
I'm very glad you mentioned that. Very glad indeed. Traditionally, the soul jars, especially animated ones, need to be willing subjects for this summoning, but I suppose if push comes to shove and
Oh, that's a funny thing you should say, push and shove.
Does it say animated?
so
Those.
Did you have a vision as well?
he starts casting a spell, and all of a sudden, you guys find yourselves, all three of you, roped up, with your arms lapped down at your sides.
Ah, jank.
And he says, yes, good. Well, I see that the wards in the room can still easily defeat any normal magical resistance. Good, I'm glad they're intact. Well, now, shall we begin the spell to ensure the success of the magistrate? Come with me. What is your name? I never got it the first time you visited.
Me?
Yes, you,
No,
the animated Soljar, please.
Do you have like? Oh, you know what? It's Mikhail Pavlovitskyvich.
Mikhail. That's.
And you know what? I'm actually you. I think
that is a classic Kraplakistani name. How did you get here exactly?
Well, I immigrated via the system, and I came through. It was about 12 years ago, maybe.
No,
15.
You.
It's been a little while, but not that long.
My friend, I'm afraid that. Well, and as he talks, he kind of gestures and walks into his grand office, which does have, in fact, what looks to be for anybody with Arcana knowledge. To be some sort of very complicated runized teleportation circle that he's scrolled out into the middle of the floor, and it has 3 points as a triangle around the circle, and at 2 points there are existing soul jars, copies of Mikhail. The one that you guys dug out of the underground, the one that Mikhail found in the docks in between seasons.
Oh.
And are we all seeing this?
Yeah.
He's scooting us along via magic,
exactly.
right?
He tugs on his magical little end, and you guys are dragging along. And you have reasonable movement over your fate. And so he drags you in there, and he says, "You see, I've been wanting to try some of the old, retired Kraplakistani magics for some time, ever since I discovered their ancient lost lore deep within the bowels of Lan Arcanym. This city's been the house of many kingdoms of magical lore, Kraplakistani included. But I'm afraid that kingdom fell some 800 years prior, Mikhail."
No, I mean, we've had some tough times, I would say, but
you are just a bit late. No, they fell to the end of their decadence some 1,200 years hence, and then yes, their final fall was due to a large warfare. From what I can tell, and he opens up an extremely old book that looks like it's falling apart. It's clearly as ancient as he says, and he says, "From what I can tell from your people's histories, and I'd love to ask you sometime, but now is obviously not the time. No, it was a very similar ritual to this that caused their ultimate destruction. They killed too many of their own people to survive."
Okay. So it's sacrifice magic.
There's a trivial cost. I think to destroy this dragon, it will merely cost 1,000 souls from the city below.
Whoa.
That's kind of a lot. Let's actually take a break from this. Go right back to that whole thing where you've got this old book. It's written in Karpakistanish, and
Yes.
So
there was an ancient teleportation circle deep within the city. It was ruined of
Yeah.
their Pakistani magics.
But
I found this
in
book
rough
buried
condition.
under it. Oh, you visited? Ah, yes.
Well,
I did myself some years back. Well, they used to have city-to-city teleportation magic. It was divine, but of course there were occasional accidents, and they had to keep soul jars like you around in case there was some sort of accident that brought a soul through the teleportation but left its body behind.
right, soul jars like these two that look like me.
Yeah, and you, he draws very finely in the air, and some runes appear that look kind of like the runes that were written in this book. And they appear in glowing yellow, and then they dissolve, and suddenly, Mikhail, your perspective shifts, and you are now one of the two that was standing in one of the corners. You're unbound.
While he's casting that, is his attention off of us enough to, like, Aaron's gonna check his bonds.
Ooh.
They're off enough to check his bonds, yeah. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand is... what is that?
You have advantage, just to check.
Dexterity.
Oh, it's a dex check. Okay. And you said I have advantage?
Yeah, you're just
That's
checking
very
the
good.
bonds.
Because it's, that was a 13 total. Oof, but that was the better one. Okay, it's a 13.
All right. Yeah, no, that's not a wild success. It's not a wild failure. I'll mark you as a success on the scales of justice, but I'll say that you think that your magical bonds are reasonably tight. You think it would require... You're pretty sure you would have disadvantage on a sleight of hand check to break free.
Can I try mine as well?
You will get the same results, so we won't bother going through the rolling process. You succeed, and you learn the same information. Yes, and so he says, of course, you see, you, my friend Mikhail, are an incredible find, really, of yourself, a holdover, a relic of that period. It's incredible to me that you haven't realized in this time that your people lived in this very same area. I imagine the geography may have changed some in the time, and certainly the magistrate himself reshaped the land in his own image when he put up this spire, but you are an incredible find. We'll have to get to you after I use you as a vessel to summon 1,000 souls from the city below and save the magistrate from the heap of that dragon. And he starts kind of sketching some runes.
Mikhail is going to step aside and very quickly, with his dagger that he kept since Aaron gave his to Middle Tim, he's going to just cut Aaron's bonds.
What dagger?
What dagger?
The dagger's
You're in the wrong body.
He reaches for his dagger.
He
reaches for his dagger to...
He's moved the lasso you to be in the triangle positions around his little teleportation thing. It would be pretty obvious for you to, like, step across the thing and reach out. You can if you want.
Nope, I do not want that. Oh, man.
And dot the I's and cross the T's. We wouldn't want this backfiring on us.
Yes, but
it's a funny thing about backfire. What does it look like if this backfires? Would that potentially, like, I don't know, blow the window out the side of the building?
No, this room is specially prepared for us to do summoning magics. All magical energies are contained within. As you saw on the upside side of the crystal.
What about magic from without?
That's what could penetrate the impervious shield, the impervious shell of the Everspire.
So you're really not taking this vision thing seriously at all, huh?
Look, I've never put much stock in you, Highguard, and I've met this bumbling fool before with his various personalities. Oh, speaking of which, Mikhail, make a wisdom save.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
After that, I do have an action I want to take after right off the table. If I make this wisdom save, which I definitely did. 17.
Yeah, there was a DC 10, 15, and 20. So you beat the 10 to 15. You failed the 20. So you definitely hear now kind of an argument of voices in the back of your head, arguing over if you can maybe get somewhere you shouldn't be or get a knife somehow. None of them have taken control of you yet exactly, but you get the distinct impression like maybe those live in this shell, like they're leftover images of personalities that have inhabited this shell before, and whenever you inhabit this shell, they inhabit you too.
So Mikhail is gonna just a little bit. Oh, shut up! These are ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yes, it is very brilliant. In fact, it's so brilliant. Why don't you explain it to me again, very loudly? Like I just really project. Mikhail wants to. I don't care if this guy does it or not. I don't care if E.G. Stone Sniffer does it or not. Mikhail wants to cast command on the other untied soul jar, and command is just a simple order, so it's not a super complex system, but the command he wants to do is just stop him. So I want to cast a command spell on a animate but unoccupied soul jar. So I feel like it shouldn't get a saving throw, but it should be functional. But that's definitely a GM call.
I'm going to say that the purpose of the saving throw in this instance is to hope that there's enough of a soul in there that it's a valid target for the spell.
Okay.
It needs to be cast on an animate or something with
Darn, I thought I was going to get that. DC 12 then. It's not a...
And go ahead and roll that for me then as an inverse check. So
okay.
Is that DC 8 then?
So what am I trying to roll over DC 8 with my Arcana?
Does that make over DC? You're trying to... How do you invert DCs? It doesn't matter. Roll 12 or better.
Okay, I rolled 15, and I haven't added a bonus yet, so.
All right, so, you reach out and you say in your voice.
Stop him!
And
You, right there! Me!
The statue lurches forward toward E.G. Stone Sniffer, and he looks taken aback. Says, what? And a lasso kind of forms around the statue, but during the delay, there's an incredibly loud crack sound of draconic-induced mayhem and fire, and the rear crystal window is blown out of this room. The rain starts pouring in, and you can see lightnings and crackles of draconic fire emanating from above. The lights are sort of echoing. We're high enough worried about the cloud layers, so you just get hints of things here in this sort of gray void that you guys have found yourselves in. It's extraordinarily loud. There's wind whipping around now. And although the figure is lassoed, it is continuing to advance because the lasso, again, only covers the top arms. So what do you guys do?
Aaron is going to be backing away from the windows, and but he's also going to be attempting to cast Vicious Mockery on Stone Sniffer to basically try and just like get his mind off of his crazy plan. It's clear that he's like obsessed and he's down a hole. And I don't know whether this offers anything, but Aaron starts to sing a song that is it's a famous song from a really great play that's all about hubris, as most of the great plays are, and it's about a great wizard that thought that he could control all things, even as the darkness itself covered the land and the oceans rose. He believed that he could continue living where he was, and he built walls of magic to keep out the ocean, and still the ocean rose. And the song is basically about the wizard making more and more sacrifices, killing his friends and family to keep the ocean out of the space. And eventually he becomes distracted by a brief moment of grief, and the ocean crashes in and destroys all. And so that's what Aaron is singing when he's
casting Vicious Mockery. And Vicious Mockery gives a person disadvantage on checks. Is that what it does, or not?
I think that is correct.
All right.
I have to trust the better GMs here, and I think for me it's just a level 1 spell. So for him, it's a saving throw against my charisma.
Apparently Vicious Mockery is psychic damage and disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of next turn. All right. So go ahead and roll to hit, apparently.
There's a roll to hit?
It succeeds on a wisdom save, so make its wisdom save. What did you roll?
Make his wisdom save?
Yeah, because I don't roll dice.
You
guys roll dice.
I rolled a 4.
All right. So he easily shrugs off your mockery. He says, "This is one of my favorite songs. If you think it would disparage me, you're wrong. I would love. It's a rock song.
Great! If you untie me, I've got a whistle. I can do the solo.
Meanwhile,
please,
Clara.
Yeah, Alo save us. Alo save us.
Mm-hmm. Is Alo doing something? She's just trying to get out of her bond.
All right, make a sleight of hand check for me with disadvantage, which means roll a d20 twice and take the lower of the two.
Okay.
Oh, this is so bad. This is
very bad.
Not a super good situation we put ourselves in here.
It's the statue of Mikhail continues to struggle toward.
Oh no!
I get a 6. Do I still add my whatchamacallit?
You out of 2d20, the highest you got was a 6. What was your other roll?
No, you said take the lowest of the two.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a 6 and a 19.
Oh
man!
Yeah, you still add your sleight of hand bonus, DC 10.
Okay, so that's 10. Yeah.
Oh.
So, you get a total of 10. You pass by the skin of your teeth.
Oh, wow.
And you break free of these magical bonds. You have full working use of both arms and both legs. What do you do?
Me?
You're free?
Please save us.
Free. I immediately, swiftly untie Aaron and Mikhail.
All right, so I'll give you the choice because things look like they're happening very immediately, and you don't you something will happen if you use your time to untie them rather than act against E.G. Stone Sniffer. He may complete his spell. You get the vague impression, right? The combat music's ridden up, or the Mikhail doll might succeed in stopping him. However, it thinks to do that.
It's gonna push him out the window.
So
Okay, I will immediately. So I could either stop the doll, or I could stop him from casting.
Or you can untie Aaron.
Yep.
Or
You
I
do
don't
whatever
think
you want, but there's cost associated with whatever you choose.
Or maybe kick one of the other ones out of the circle so that he's got to reset things. Like that'll buy some time.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I'll do that. I'll just. Well, yeah. I'll say, hey, boss, what do I do?
I don't know.
And then
Kick
I'll
me, but not
waste
me.
time.
Kick the other me.
Okay, I'll take one of the soldiers
All right.
of the cat.
that was done hurt
So,
later.
so you body tackle what the other soldier are, which happens to have Mikhail in it, and the two of you go
wait.
crumbling down.
I didn't mean this to be. I meant the other.
It's hard to tell. One of you's wearing pants. And so the two of you go down. The circle seems to glow a little bit less, and the writing trails off. Meanwhile, the E.G. Stone Sniffer is not able to resist the work of the doll that's attempting to stop him. And their struggle ends with E.G. Stone Sniffer being pushed off the ledge, and you hear his Wilhelm-like scream as he plummets. However, the spell does not go off or backfire because you disrupted it, so you guys are fine, and 1,000 random humans from, or sentient, probably bipedal beings from the city are also fine.
Mikhail walks up to the edge, puts his hand on the edge of the wall, and looks out over the, down through the mist and the fog and the clouds.
I
He
feel
is not
really
going
bad.
to be in the next adventure.
Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, rookie mistake. And
Hey, you did your best. We'll just boy, the chief is not gonna like this.
This is.
You guys turn around, and through the crystal lenses, you see Bert and Ernie giving you guys big high fives. Big thumbs up, right?
Aaron's still bound, but he kind of he gives them a look and then gives them a really sad thumbs up. Well, I guess.
I wouldn't say this was our most successful case.
Oh no!
I think the good news is that Bert and Ernie might let us out of here alive.
Yeah, that's good news.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna. Mikhail wants to touch the original Mikhail with all of his gear on it and see if he transfers back or something. Does anything happen when I touch the original Mikhail?
It's much like the last time. Proximity can trigger the change, right?
Okay.
So you feel yourself kind of being pulled, and you learn after a couple of accidental switches or switch and switch backs that there's it's like two magnets, right? There's nothing, and then clamp
and then
suddenly
suddenly
together. But
yeah.
if you learn to kind of gauge and be careful of where this is, so now you can kind of judge and then jump back and switch from body to body.
All right.
Ala wants to know, do we have friends now? Are Bert and Ernie our friends? Do we have friends in the Black Inquisition?
The Red Inquisition.
In the Red Inquisition.
Well, I wouldn't describe us as friends so much as, I feel like at this juncture
cool
we shared a common goal and
non-hostile acquaintances, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could say that we did your job for you, I guess.
Well,
you
we
kind of
won't
owe
say
us a
that,
favor.
and you better
owe
not
us
say
a
that.
favor.
Yeah, we're definitely taking credit for this.
Yeah.
But you guys owe us a favor.
That's great. Yeah, and you guys can get one for us sometime.
You mean kill a person for you guys sometime?
Well, we'll see. Hey, who knows in this crazy life, right?
Yeah. Hey, first one's free. Am I right?
Yeah, I figured you guys would like that. All right, we're fucking out of here. And Aaron's got one of the soul
I
jars.
was gonna say Aaron and Alo are carrying a soul jar each. I hope.
You guys take it. Yeah, they don't stop you. I already established they were not
Why would they?
given-
Yeah.
Mikhail, do you want to grab that book of
Oh yes, I do.
Pakistani origin?
I need to know what's going on here.
Yeah,
So I
they're
imagine
busy bro bumping each other like
Yeah.
no blood. And you guys can route that out. You imagine?
Oh, I was going to say, I imagine that shortly we'll be standing in front of the chief. Listen, it was kind of a blur, but we did save 1,000 citizens' lives. And technically the crime was committed by an inanimate object. I would say maybe misuse of departmental resources, so perhaps an infraction. To be honest, I mean, it's your call, but if I'm being honest here, I've read the rules. I would say it's probably an infraction on my part.
She, the chief, in her bull form, with extremely red behind her eyes, but she's gone behind her usual extremely loud angry. Now she's like eerily super calm angry.
Oh no.
She's breathing very slowly.
Chief, I know
you can tell
how
her
it
meditation
sounds.
has worked.
It's a story that is much better if you witnessed it in person. It loses something in the telling, I know. But that's how
we
it
were
happened.
playing a shell game with souls, and you failed to prevent a murder.
We
failed to prevent is generous, yes.
And we might have
generous,
succeeded at preventing...
I suggest that's how you write it up.
We succeeded at preventing 1,000 murders?
Yeah.
Or
Chief...
you succeeded in preventing the magistrate from executing its lawful duty.
Nope. I don't think that's how we're going to write it.
Yes. We're
Silver
going to be very
lining.
careful how we write this one up.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Look,
this is going to be...
I think what you did was morally right. You could have done better. But you've saved lives. In my book, that's what we hope for. In my book, that's the point of the Special Visions unit, is to save lives. Now, I think your punishment for this is that you're the ones who have to explain to, Alopecia, what the hell's his name?
Adama Sauvage, the mayor?
No. That little seer downstairs. Alopecia.
Archibald.
Yes.
Archibald.
Yes. You're the ones who have to explain to him where his marbles went. He keeps complaining about them. He won't leave.
Yeah, I forgot we never got that back.
Yeah. So, I'm very disappointed, but I'm very glad that 1,000 random citizens of the city did not die. Write it up carefully, and I consider this case closed. Well enough. And take your little shell game out of here. That one hat rack was weird enough. I don't want these things around the office anymore.
All right,
I know the Black Inquisition will come back and give me... And she holds out a sheet of paper that is completely black.
All redacted.
It's literally like... It's just black. It's just 100% black. It's black on black ink. And she says, the next time they serve me with paperwork, I mean, I can't read this. I bet you can't either. I just let them do whatever they want. So... yeah,
kind of how they do things.
I don't want to see them in here again. So get rid of those.
All right. Yes, Chief.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief.
And since the scales of justice stand at what is it?
What's the good ending here?
10 successes to 2 failures.
That's a lot of successes.
Yeah, you guys did very, very well. You go out to tell Archibald the bad news. And, amazingly, you see a very decrepit rat-like figure shrouded into the corners. And Archibald and the rat-like figure are having a conversation, and his seeing orb. You see an exchange of seeing orbs where the nice, polished, shiny one goes to Archibald, and a slightly dimmer but no less useful one gets exchanged back to the cloaked figure, along with a coupon for ham hocks.
Which way does that coupon go?
It goes. Good question. We'll leave that for next episode. It'll be
Mikhail claps Fanghorn on the back. Fanghorn, do you like wizard battles?
And that's the episode. Perfect. With one exception of a little bit of evening news.
So yes, we pull away from the scene inside out to the courtyard where Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5, is back with your evening news update. Order is restored at last in the city of Lan Arcanym, and city residents could not be happier. All those sounds and lights frighten the animals, said William H. Macy, an employee of the L.A. Hippodrome. we can finally get back to racing the hippos as usual. A medal ceremony is planned tomorrow to honor Bert Backhair and Manuel the Merciless, brave members of the Red Inquisition credited for quelling the last of the administration's resistance. Someone done lost the keys, right? So in the end, what I thought was, what if we just barricade them in there, right? Then they won't be causing us no bother, Merciless said of the distraction. To honor these two young heroes, the High Dragon Liberator and Lord of the City plans to accept precious metals as gift in return for offering the city its salvation from the magistrate. Loyal citizens of Lan Arcanym are encouraged to attend and to donate generously to the High Dragon. Meanwhile, spring is almost upon us. You can expect a green air day tomorrow as green clouds of treant spores drift out from Kings Park. Park Ranger Ammonetti reminds city dwellers of the dangers of letting treants germinate within your sinus cavities. It's a beautiful time of year, but cranial sapling custody battles are no laughing matter. The Parks and Sewers Department advises residents planning on springtime picnics to wear a strong body spray with a TPF of 35 or greater. I'm Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5. Check back with me for future updates.
God, that guy's good. Ah, he's so good.
This is a good report. It leaves me with many questions.
All right. So, on that note, we'll wish you all good night. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening to the podcast, consuming us on YouTube. However you got here, we're glad you came. We're always glad to have you. We're sad to see you leave, but we'll be back next week. Same RPG time, same RPG Academy. In the meantime, you can like, follow, subscribe, donate, and tickets to Acadicon in the fall are on sale for anyone who's live and updating. There is a link in the show description, at least not on YouTube, but in Twitch. There is a link to the Kickstarter, and otherwise you can Google Acadicon 2017 Kickstarter. I'd love to see all of you there. You'll be seeing at least one of us there, perhaps more. Who knows?
It could possibly.
It could surprise us all.
It could. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And I think there's nothing left but to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Got out of jury duty this week.
Bye-bye.
Don't expect it again soon.
We killed that guy.
Yeah, that's... Yep.
Accidental death. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Please tell me we're out.